Welcome to the Ranger's Respite. I'm Philip, and today we're talking about a whiskey from one of the distilleries that is in the final 8 of the 2024 Virginia Whiskey Tournament. And that is Copper Fox's original rye whiskey. Now, I'm going to actually read all the information off of this label for you because this is one of the coolest and most information-dense labels that I've seen on the market. But before I do that, let me mention, just real quick, I have an Etsy shop where I sell bowls such as this beautiful American cherry bowl and pens, some of which are made from bourbon barrels or bourbon barrel staves. Proceeds from the sales accrued on my Etsy shop go to support the show, the Single Malt Frontier, and the 2024, and indeed, going forward, any Virginia Whiskey Tournament. Now, with that out of the way, let's take a look at this label. Look at it. It is one of, if not the most information-dense labels on the market. It's also got some beautiful copper foil, which makes sense. So, grains used: 1/3 hand malted barley, 2/3 rye, 100% Virginia grown. Malting notes: floor malted, lightly smoked with 60% applewood, 40% cherrywood, lightly toasted. Distilling notes: gently double pot distilled in 2 runs to between 150 and 160 proof. Maturation: barreled with a progressive series of new and used applewood and oak chips inside used bourbon barrels, and finished in a second used bourbon barrel, not chill filtered. So, as you might have gathered from that, this is technically whiskey distilled from a rye mash and not a rye whiskey. The distinction is subtle. To be a rye whiskey in the United States, it needs to be aged in a new oak barrel. Now, with all that said, this is from batch 150. It has signatures of Rick Wasmund, Sean McCaskey, and Helen Wasmund on the back. Like I said, a beautifully information-dense label. You don't really get to see that much information on most of the whiskeys on the shelf. And that's one of the things that I think makes Copper Fox unique. Without further ado, let's talk about the whiskey in the glass. I apologize, Mr. Wasmund. I'm not using my Copper Fox tasting glass as it is currently dirtied. I hope you won't mind that I'm using a Glenmorangie glass. On the nose, you have that beautiful, rich fruit smoke. If you've had barbecue that's been smoked over applewood, and you'll know the note. It's this like rich, smoky, but bright. It's got some sweet fruit notes. It really does smell or have a scent of like apple rind. And there's, of course, that smell of cherry wood that is, of course, charred, smoking, hot. I'm a woodworker. I've worked with a fair amount of cherry. There is something about the smell of cherry, that's been run through a table saw or something where it's, cut and then running along a moving blade, and it gets real warm, and it has a distinct smell. And that is definitely present here. And then you've got that, underneath that layer of nice smoke, you've got a little bit of like sort of caramelized goodness. Oh, beautiful. Some like rich pumpernickel breadiness. Not very much spice on the nose, but definitely that nice rich smoke, that char, a little bit of sweetness, some fruitiness. Something that, almost pops out as sort of a stone fruit note. Beautiful stuff. Mm. On the palate. Oh. Beautiful. Rich, smoky. There's that fruit sweetness around the edges. A nice tight core of spice in the center. Some of that like star anise, caraway seed, as well as like a little bit of like honestly burnt end notes, all wrapped up there. Oh, it's nice, rich, warm, inviting. I really genuinely enjoy this stuff. I think it is fantastic. It's got nice oiliness that clings, which means that the finish goes on forever. And it's this nice, like, spicy, fruity. It's like stewed apples. Like, if you're going to be making an apple pie filling and you've thrown in, stewed apples and cardamom, cloves, star anise, cinnamon, and you've all like put it into a pot and let it caramelize and char a little bit, and it's got such a great finish that clings and lingers. Amazing stuff. I genuinely think that this is, I'm a rye guy. I like rye whiskey. This is genuinely one of my favorite offerings that I've tried from Copper Fox. I genuinely think that their rye is a gem that doesn't get as much love as their other products, particularly their single malt. And don't get me wrong, their single malt is amazing. Their single malt is fantastic. Their single malt is brilliant. But I like this. This is darn good stuff. I think this is my second or third bottle of this. And in case you're wondering, almost everything that I have, I buy one bottle of, and that's it, because it lasts me forever. Copper Fox Rye has gone with me to events. It was my daily drinker for quite a while. Fantastic, amazing stuff. I really like it. It's 90 proof, which is a good solid proof point. Oh, fantastic stuff. And again, I love their marketing. I love their packaging. Enough effusive praise of Copper Fox. Let's get down to the brass tacks. Those of you who have watched the show know that I don't give numeric scores. I think they don't really matter. They don't tell you anything. I'll make a whole video about that later, after the Virginia Whiskey Tournament is over. In the meantime, what I do is I ask 3 questions. The first is, do I like it? Absolutely. I love this stuff. I think that it's one of my favorite smoky ryes. I haven't had many, but this is one of my favorites. Second question. Do I think it's a good value? Yes. It is unique on the market. There isn't anything quite like it. You're not going to be able to get a product of this quality for any less, really, of this nature. And the third question, do I recommend it? Yes, absolutely. If you like barbecue, if you like rye whiskey, and if you are looking for something a little bit different, that's the whiskey for you. I cannot overstate how much that is the whiskey for you that you should go and try. If you live in the Commonwealth of Virginia, you absolutely should pick up a bottle. If you live outside the Commonwealth of Virginia, you should try to find a bottle. It is darn good stuff, and I think that you should consider buying a bottle. Now, with all that out of the way, that leaves us to the outro. It's been good talking to you. I hope you're well. We've got some cool stuff coming up. When this is going out, It'll be Wednesday. I apologize for not having a video up on Tuesday, by the way. Just things coming up. Had to get some stuff knocked out and didn't get around to recording. I also didn't get around to editing video for one of the other projects that I'm working on. But anyway, this is coming out Wednesday. Tomorrow, as you are watching this, the 29th, there's going to be a mesquite smoke roundtable on the Single Malt Frontier. I'm going to be there. We're going to be talking about American single malt and that is smoked with mesquite smoke, a staple of Southwest barbecue. And it's going to be a really great time. We're going to have Colin Keegan from Santa Fe Spirits, Mark Fiataler from Whiskey Del Bach, a representative of Andalusia. I'm really sorry. My brain isn't remembering your name. And we're going to have Phil from Bourbon Van. It's going to be a lot of fun. Oh, and of course, myself and Doug, my co-host. It's going to be a lot of fun. Can't wait to see it. It's going to be live 7 p.m. Eastern on the 29th. Tune in. It's on the Single Malt Frontier. I think I said that. Until then, stay happy, stay geeks. Slanja.